She's dead. Wrapped in plastic.
Welcome to the Twin Peaks podcast.
Damn good coffee. And hot. Would everyone please take a seat?
Welcome everybody to episode 29 of the Twin Peaks podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Melanie.
I'm Brad.
I'm Caitlin.
And I am Eddie.
Hey Eddie.
Hi.
Yay! We don't know who he is.
That's alright, we'll get to know you.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Listener of the podcast, and wanted to hop on for an episode to talk about Miss Twin Peaks.
Cool.
Yeah.
How long have you
Kind of like that.
How long have you been a fan of the actual show there?
No, I just got into it this year.
Oh, really?
And largely because I saw it on Netflix and I, decided to pop it in. I have a few friends who are Lynchians, and I figure I give it I pop it in. Immediately I was like, oh, I like this show. And it consumed most of my time, which was not good because I was unemployed at the time.
Oh.
So and then later Lost took up my time. It's like, this is just horrible.
Kept you unemployed.
Yeah, but I have a job now, so I have less time than I would actually like.
All right, Brad, tell us about this episode.
All right, this is Season 2, Episode 21, Miss Twin Peaks. Cooper and Truman rush to Black Lodge, where Cooper tries to save the life of Miss Twin Peaks.
What?
Nope.
Nope.
No, that's wrong.
Nice try, though.
Hey, come on, guys. He might pull through. You never know. Oh, no, wait.
Yeah, but he didn't go to the Black Lodge. He went to the Roadhouse.
Yeah. For the Miss Twin Peaks pageant. It's completely different.
Whatever, Netflix.
Yeah. Although I will say about Netflix's descriptions about the episode is that unlike there are other episodes of shows that you'll watch, the descriptions that they write are so extraordinarily vague it spoils nothing. But it is a little aggravating. It's like, what happens really? How much time can I devote to this thing and not be annoyed if I have to stop?
Okay, so we open up on Leo and Briggs chained up, and Leo gets the key, and it doesn't work on himself, so he lets Briggs go.
It seems very easy to get Briggs out of that, too.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's just barely hanging on him.
Oh, yes. What'd you think of Leo letting Briggs go? I don't think that's something the old Leo would have done.
Yeah, not in his right mind.
No. But he seems to be, kind of taking a turn towards the good side, maybe. I don't know.
He's seen the true face of evil and doesn't like it.
Oh, yes. I've seen the true face of evil, and it is a horse.
Talking about the true face of evil, is it just me or does it look like Wyndham is wearing a Wyndham mask?
Yeah, that was the one thing I noticed, is in that very first scene, he looks like a pirate with scurvy in a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He looks very, very ill.
Yeah, that was deliberate, I'm sure.
Yeah, what kind of, is that a disguise though? Or is he just really sick?
Well, it's like he holds the bag in front of his face, which I can only assume to be a death bag of some sort. And then he comes back and he's all, ah!
Yeah, I don't know if I can talk about what I think that is yet, with his face in it.
I think it's just like a weird, creepy costume. I don't know.
I don't think it's a costume.
I think maybe.
I think it's something supernatural, but...
we'll be able to talk about it all too soon.
Yes.
Make a note.
Next we have Norma, Shelley, and Annie talking about the Miss Twin Peaks contest. There's a mention of Laura Palmer.
Yeah, they don't mention her very much these days.
No, but we still get her picture at the end of every episode.
Yeah.
With this Twin Peaks, it's whoever wins this contest, it's really going to bring the town together somehow. I don't know about this.
Only if it's Annie or Shelley, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, nobody cares about the other ones.
sketchy.
Next, we have Audrey, all dolled up in a red dress, sitting in front of the fire. And I don't know, is she waiting for her dad, or is she just sitting lovelorn or whatever?
I think that, yeah.
She's pining for Jack,
Yeah.
totally.
Why sit next to a fire in a very elaborate red dress, if not just for the visuals of it?
Exactly.
If somebody walks in, they're gonna know I'm really sad.
Yeah. Well, they'll notice.
Ben's reading a bunch of holy books to learn how to be good.
Boy, I'm done with Ben Horn. It's over.
Aw, he's really into this redemption thing.
He's trying so hard.
Oh yeah, he needs all the help he can get.
I give up on him.
He's a lost cause to you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny that a person can't figure out how to be good on their own. They need help. He's so like disconnected from morality that he doesn't even know what it is, apparently. He has to research it.
I don't like the awkward conversation that him and Audrey have about love and her missing Billy Zane, and because it's like, well, at least you had this concentrated time together. It was so concentrated. Stop talking to your father about sex. It's bad enough that he almost had sex with you in a whorehouse.
Yes. Yeah, it's a bit gross.
Yeah.
At least she's not kidding herself though about Jack. Like he said he promised to come back, but she doesn't really count. She's not counting on that. No, which is kind of smart on her part, I guess. But still, it wasn't really smart to fall in love with him and be like, "Do me right now. I barely know you."
Can I see the inside of your sex jet?
Yeah.
But I'm still kind of glad to see them getting along, even though their conversation was kind of gross. Audrey begins to help scheme against the Packards, and Ben still wants her to enter the pageant.
Well, of course he does. It's the ultimate local forum. Twin Peaks.
It puts such shame to this universe.
Yeah.
It's the highest station a woman can hope to achieve in this town, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, which I think if that be the case for any town, that would be clue one to get out.
Yes.
He kind of seemed a bit like his old self when he was telling Audrey that she pretty much had to enter the Miss Twin Peaks pageant. It sounds like he wasn't giving her much of a choice.
Yeah, which was for his own ulterior motives, to stop the Ghostwood project. Which I kind of picked up the vibe, like that's why he had like a bunch of the religious sections. Like, okay, how do I present the idea that I'm actually a good person so I can screw people over?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused. It's like he speaks like he really believes this goodness, like he wants to be good, but he's only doing good when it comes to Ghostwood for his own personal benefit.
Well, it's probably like a tear from like the new self and the old self, where there's going to be some friction and some static at first.
Yeah, that's true.
Until ultimately either one of the personalities is going to win. Either hey, I'm just going to do whatever and find any way to do it. And then it's like, oh wait, I could not be a dick.
I think he's just still trying to kind of work it out, how to be good and how to be bad. He doesn't know.
He'd be.
Take your pills.
It's that special time.
So now we have Andy's been staring at the petroglyph all day.
He's the only one working on this thing, I think.
Is
Yeah, although I can't decide if that was a choice that he made, or if that's just like just look at this thing.
Yeah, they just gave him some busy
I
work.
think he's just hypnotized.
Maybe.
I think he actually gives a damn about what's happening in this town.
I think he does. I think he.
Like, unlike anyone else.
Well, yeah, Cooper and Truman there just drinking coffee. Yeah, we're working hard on this thing.
Just waiting for a giant to tell me what to do.
Coop explains that he saw Bob and
Okay.
Josie died from fear, and they ponder if Bob comes from the Black Lodge.
I love the casual way he just brings it up. Oh, by the way, I didn't want to tell you this at the time, but when your girlfriend died, Yeah, she was scared to death, and it may have been like creepy evil Bob.
So can you actually die from fear? I want to know medically if this is accurate.
You actually can. You can actually like scare somebody so much that like their heart can just like stop.
Well, you have to have a weak heart already, or what?
Right.
Yeah, it does help if you have like a pre-existing condition that would allow that.
It's probably really hard to scare a perfectly healthy person to death.
Yeah.
That's not to just show them bacon and they'll just just drop to the floor.
Bacon. I love bacon.
Yeah.
I know. But if you show it to somebody who's extraordinarily healthy,
Oh, yes.
It'd be like showing a vampire to a cross.
Right.
Put 'em.
I reverse that, but you get it.
Showing a vampire to a cross.
Yeah, the cross will drop dead. You're like, which would be weird if a cross would talk, but stranger things have happened, obviously.
Yes.
Wyndham Earl is listening in. He gets excited about fear being the key.
I love how Cooper's like, I'm going to talk much louder now about all these secret things.
Yeah, it doesn't he even say, "Can I speak out loud" or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I would like to say this aloud. Who is it? There's only 3 people in the room. Who is going to object to this?
I kind of got the feeling, though, that Andy was in his zone, and they're trying not to disturb him. They're like, oh, Andy, can we talk?
Maybe.
At first, when I saw that, I thought maybe they had discovered the listening device and he was trying to catch Wyndham Earl's attention and he was going to feed him some false information.
Yeah.
But nope.
Wyndham looks completely crazed, though.
Yeah. So Wyndham's talking about fear, like, very excitedly. And he's talking to Leo, but he gets no response. I don't know about you guys, but when I first watched that, I thought we were going to pan over to Leo's corpse.
Yeah, I kind of expected that as well.
Yeah.
And then was somewhat disappointed when that wasn't the case.
Uh-huh.
This death trap he's got set up. It's, first of all, it's so long, the shot, like going up the string, and I was expecting it to be like in like the pin of a grenade,
Yeah.
because that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be like a Ruby Goldberg contraption or whatever, because the way the camera was panning, I thought it was going to be this really complicated contraption where you're going to get like a bunch of dominoes falling and marbles rolling down slides. Then an anvil would fall on Leo's head or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, the spiders. I don't know.
I don't think this would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. They don't show him if he's like still handcuffed or not, and also that cage looks pretty rigid. So, like, Leo could just kind of slowly raise it and then like shove it away. And also, he is about 20 times bigger than the spiders, so he would have no problem squashing them to death.
It's true. You can just roll all over them.
Yeah.
They're pretty fast, though. They can get a bite in, I think.
You think? Have you had
Yeah.
experience with this, Caitlin?
No. Not personally.
You're a professional spider fighter by night.
And in the octagon, it's Caitlin versus the spider.
Spiders can be terrifying. My siblings are terrified of them, and so they've done like a lot of research on spiders. And there's spiders like that can jump meters, and they're just so small. Scary.
Are there poisonous spiders roaming the Washington area? Because there are?
Definitely.
Do you know this for a fact? Are you just making this up?
There's poisonous spiders everywhere.
Well, I mean, those are tarantulas. Are there poisonous tarantulas? Because a lot of tarantulas won't kill you. Like, the bite will hurt, but you're not going to die.
That's true. But I assume Wyndham Earl, I mean, if he knows where to get a good horse shop in town, a good horse costume in town, I'm sure he can find deadly tarantulas.
I guess.
At the Deadly Tarantula store.
Where do we go next?
We are going to rehearsals for the Miss Twin Peaks contest, and Pinker is choreographing.
Yeah. Hey, why is Squiggy being a perv? I don't remember this.
He's a perv this entire episode, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, isn't he just in this one scene? Like, I don't even think he's in the later scene when they're actually doing the pageant.
No, he is.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he is?
Much later, though.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I apparently missed him.
You'll probably remember once we bring it up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I don't know what gives him the authority to be a choreographer,
They're
but
just trying to find him something to do.
he uses the opportunity to stare at some boobs.
I've known a lot of male choreographers. Never known any to stare at boobs.
If anything, they're probably more subtle than he was, because that was just a poor attempt.
Stand down some more. Yeah.
Did you guys notice Shelley when she was dancing in the corner? She was
And
acting.
how she can't?
No, but she was acting all silly.
Oh, yeah, her and Donna were like making fun of it.
Yeah, they were kind of all being silly. It was kind of cute.
It looked like it could almost be just the actors being silly. and
Yeah, it looked like
not
they were
something
just.
that was written.
Yeah, it looked like they were just having fun.
We notice clearly Audrey is clearly nowhere in this dance number.
I know.
No.
Maybe she must not be in the pageant at all.
I don't think she's there in the pageant later when they're all in their raincoat outfits or whatever.
No.
Doesn't she only show up for the speech and that's it?
Yes. It's like they just let her make a special speech.
That's not being a team player at all. No wonder she didn't win.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
So, who noticed the guy with the deer?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
love
looked
it.
ridiculously heavy. What was like?
Well, it looked like he was, doing things to it.
Yes. He was molesting that deer.
I didn't notice that part.
The way he was.
Go back and look. He has it right up against his crotch.
Just because it's heavy and he's carrying it.
You don't carry things with your penis.
Acknowledged, but he's just leaning the whole deer against his body.
The judges discuss the rules for the score sheets.
Can we just talk about this for a second?
Okay.
One of the judges...
Oh god.
Okay, so we've got the mayor, his fiance's in the competition. We got Norma, whose employee and sister are in the competition. And we've got Dick Tremaine, who might be the father of Lucy's child, Lucy, in the competition.
It's a small town. It's hard to find impartial judges.
It is, but I feel they could find some people slightly less. Put Harry in there.
You just have to believe that they're impartial.
Harry wouldn't be able to choose a winner. He'd be like, oh, they all look like Josie to me.
Oh god. Oh, Jesus.
Just a stage full of Josie.
Yeah.
One of the criteria I need is for them to all wear maid caps. And let me touch them appropriately.
Then we get some storage room seduction. Lana apparently doesn't know the technical term for penis.
And Dick isn't as smooth as he thinks he is.
No, he's not.
No,
when
he
it comes
sure
right
isn't.
down to it, he falls apart.
Yeah.
Well, everybody kind of falls apart around her anyways.
Yeah. I imagine he's like this anytime he gets close to a girl, really.
Probably. He acts
Yeah.
like he's all suave, but
Yeah, and then he turns into Jerry Lewis on Ether.
yeah.
It's like, I don't know what's going on here. I just,
That's true.
I apparently forgot I can impersonate him. Kind of.
Now Coop talks to Diane. I haven't seen that in a while again. But he brings up meditation.
He's working around the clock meditating.
Yes.
I could sleep, but I'll meditate instead.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you just sleep instead, Doug? Just do that.
There's actually some funny things in the Cooper book where he does like experiments, like sleep deprivation experiments, and you can see him slowly going mad as he like goes for longer and longer without sleep. It's pretty funny. Where were we?
Annie comes in and we have the worst scene ever.
Yeah, how did a discussion about a speech from Miss Twin Peaks turn into a discussion about Annie's forest?
Yeah.
Oh.
Quote unquote.
Yeah,
was-
I had issues with that as well.
I think that's the only time in the whole series I actually rolled my eyes.
It's the most painful, overly stretched series of metaphors I've ever heard in my life.
I
Yes.
just don't know how it just turned. The conversation just turned randomly to that again. It's like for the 100th time that they talk about how damaged she is and all that stuff.
Yeah, that could have been one of those things where, like ABC said, yeah, well, you're putting this thing to a close, and she'll probably be a big star one day. It'll show her boobs in every other movie. So, yeah, do this. It's like, I don't like that. Well, too bad. We're paying you.
I was thinking she just got out of a convent. And she it took me by surprise a little bit, but I don't know. I don't really object too much. It's fine.
More specifically, their conversation though, how it turned from the forests into something about her.
Her forest.
Her forest.
Yeah, that was really weird, and
Okay.
I don't know, but I've come to expect little bits of weird, cheesy strange lines like that.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of commonplace now.
Yep. So next we have a therapy session with Nadine and all her pals.
I hope I'm not alone in saying that I want the doctor's 3D aviator glasses. Just, they're goofy as hell, but I want them so badly.
eBay.
eBay, yeah, probably. How great are these photos with Nadine?
So awesome.
Yeah.
And shockingly, none of them was and this is one where I threw a guy in tights halfway across the room.
Yeah. I was actually surprised when she's like, I pinned him in a minute and a half. I'm like, oh, really? You didn't break his neck in 2 seconds?
Exactly.
And I just like the description she gave. Like the guy with thighs like steel girders or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jacoby's got everyone together to talk about breaking up.
Again, I just don't know if you can divorce someone that doesn't know they're married. I feel like there's a lot of legal ramifications here.
Do we have any lawyers listening?
You mean you could go around that if they don't know? If it's legal and it's on paper, you'd still have to get it.
Right.
But
most people.
But I don't know if you can divorce someone that's not in a mental state to understand what it means.
Weird.
Both people have to.
So.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of those really weird gray areas. Because I'm probably skewing a little bit of information on this, but Newt Gingrich, I think it was Newt Gingrich. I think he divorced his wife while she was in a comatose state or something like that.
I know she was in the hospital with cancer, but I think she was awake.
Oh, she was?
He just served the papers to her in the hospital bed when she was. When she had cancer.
Okay, so that's just
classy.
being a jerk. Okay.
That's classy.
He could be our next president.
Well, I hear Mexico's really good this time of year.
Oh, Canada.
Come on, Super Brad, we'll house you.
Hide me out in your attic, Anne Frank style, please.
That's right.
If you can sing our national anthem in both French and English, all verses, then you can become Canadian.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Well, I'm in trouble.
I can't be Canadian either, so.
So, now talks about how she noticed Mike's buns. When Ed tells Nadine about his plan to marry Norma, she crushes Mike's bones.
Poor Mike.
Ouch.
I know, he doesn't deserve that.
What do you think hurt more, her crushing his arm or her crushing his heart? Clearly she still has feelings for Ed, and that's not fair to Mike.
Yeah.
Poor Mike.
I think her feelings are squished down deep down inside, so she's kind of hiding them. It's like she's hiding them underneath layers of being hot for Mike.
I was going to assume that you were going to say that they were squished down inside of his broken hand.
Well, that too, yeah.
So Briggs comes out of the woods now, and Hawk finds him without even trying.
Of course. Hawk
What
knows.
skill?
He's got a radar or something.
Yeah.
All the intuition that Cooper pretends to have, Hawk has naturally.
This scene kind of reminded me of a zombie film a little bit. It's just the look on his face and him stumbling out of the woods.
Yeah, it's true.
They take him to the office. I think it's funny how he thinks his own name is odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is. Let's be honest.
It's true. Have you ever met anybody with the first name of Garland?
Nope.
I don't think I have.
I think it's crazy the way Major's clearly pretty messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to get some information from him, and they're like, well, we'll just leave him here with us, and maybe something can, come out of it.
Take him to a
Why
hospital.
don't you? Yeah, at least put him to bed. Do something. The man needs help.
Yeah.
They're treating him like the one-armed man.
Yeah.
Every time somebody gets shot full of haloperidol, they're like, no, we shouldn't bring them to the hospital.
Now we get to know their secrets. Let's keep them around. Yeah. They figure out the door to the Black Lodge, apparently.
Could it be the 4-H Club? I don't think so, Andy.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
At least Andy's trying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God help him, he's trying.
So they need to be in the exact time and place to get into the Black Lodge.
This is where they break out the crazy metaphor with the shooting star.
Mm-hmm.
And Cooper tries to explain it in the most awkward way possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was kind of annoyed by this scene too, just because doing exposition is hard enough as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But with the whole star metaphor and Saturn and Jupiter in conjunction, it just made it so difficult to follow. And like they were just trying to add more stuff into it to stretch out the episode longer.
He says, well, you know, it moves through not only space, it moves from time, but also through space. Or no, it's in a specific point in time and space, but that changes as it goes through its coordinates. You mean the star moves?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you mean. You mean a star, you mean it moves. That's what you're saying. Don't confuse Harry. He doesn't understand things. Just say it moves.
Cooper doesn't know how to be simple.
No, that would just be totally uninteresting and would probably make him have an aneurysm.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh, it's there. Ow, my brain!
Next, we have Pete and Andrew trying to open the supposedly box. Well, it is a box, even though it looks like a block of stainless steel.
It does.
I think this is pretty funny. I like this scene.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I enjoy Andrew when he's all silly and laughing.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's something about it.
He just gleefully shoots that thing.
Yeah.
I love him and Pete together.
Yeah,
I know.
great.
I just feel like their antics and capers could sustain an entire episode.
Yeah.
That's true. I like that little bit at the end where Pete's like, you mean you guys don't trust each other?
Yeah.
Your brother and sister.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, nobody, I don't think, would ever trust their family. Like, more money there is? Probably not.
No.
So we find out what was inside.
It's a key!
Yeah, which magically is still in one piece.
It looks
Yeah,
like
lucky.
it looks like a motel key. I don't know. With a little tag on it. Anything though.
It's a mystery inside of a mystery inside of a mystery.
Well, there's no more mystery. It's a key now.
But what does it go to?
Yeah.
A lock to another box.
Yeah.
Oh my
It goes to an empty room in which there are a box within a box within a box, and then it is just a rubber hand with the finger.
I kind of hope we don't find out what the key goes to in the next episode.
Oh, you want that left a mystery?
I hope they find a box inside of another box and they just leave that. That would amuse me.
Well, we shall see, I guess.
Ooh.
So now Donna's off to the pageant.
She's all made up too. She looks like a Christmas present.
This is a pretty clear confrontation between her and her parents. Even though she still didn't word it exactly like, hey, is Ben Horn my father? They're still not telling her. I know she didn't ask specifically, but she's clearly confronting them with, like, I know something. I know what's up between
Well, it's been
you and
clear
Ben.
from the start, pretty
I know.
much.
So why are they holding this from her? I don't understand. Like, she's just gonna assume something worse if they.
I don't understand this at all. Like, I know we have one episode left. There's not a lot of time to devote to this.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of wish they would just flip it somehow. Because I don't understand what I'm supposed to care about at all here.
Donna's feelings.
I can't.
I can't.
It's physically impossible. She acts like she's still trying to solve the mystery when it couldn't be more blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
She's just in denial.
Well, even when
She wants it to not be true.
we say it's obvious, but even when when she talks to Ben later, they still don't go out and say it. No one ever says Ben Horn is Donna's father. So I don't know if they're gonna.
Yeah, but she says it as like, oh, that's right. But like the way that she was going through all the evidence or information beforehand, it was just like, why does this now occur to you?
Yeah.
You know, like, what? If you
Sorry.
had all this before, wouldn't it have been like, oh shit, he's my father? But instead, it took you later on to. It's like weird.
How about this? How about we find out that Ben Horn isn't her father, Jerry raped her, and then they paid her off and just covered it up. That would be interesting.
Wow.
Well, that's something like that is what I was figuring they were trying to do, because it seems so obvious, but no one ever says it. So it feels like they're going to switch something up. To me, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they should, because this is terrible.
Yep.
It's just a little bit frustrating. I think Donna was even like approaching it a bit better this episode. She's being more reasonable with her parents.
Yeah, and they still don't.
So
tell
it must be something, that it's not the obvious truth.
Yeah, it can't be. Otherwise, they would just tell her. It's not that big of a deal. Like,
Well, it's a pretty big deal. But I mean,
it's a big deal, but it's nothing that she couldn't handle.
yeah, I know.
She's an adult.
But her fragile countenance might not be able to take it.
She'll deal.
It might be hereditary. Like when you tell like a bad news to her, she might end up in a wheelchair.
Oh no.
Wow.
I think that's what happened to her mom.
Scared into paralysis.
Yeah.
Ben is your father. I'm going down.
That could have been the start to season 3.
Yeah.
Just Donna in a wheelchair. It's like, oh, well, how about this shit?
It's sorry, Donna, we didn't want to tell you this, but it's in your genetics. All the women in this family. What?
So now Briggs lets them know about the keys to open both doors. He says something about fear and love open... What did he say exactly?
He
Does
says,
anyone know?
protect the queen, fear and love open the doors.
Yeah.
Sorry if that was anybody's quote.
Yeah, and then Coop figures it out in his head, or, puts 2 and 2 together in his head, and he pretends that it just came to him.
Exactly.
Ignoring that Briggs had just told him 2 seconds ago.
He's the worst detective.
How did you know that? It just came to me.
Also, when they're looking at, the star coordinates and everything, don't they say, it's a very specific time, January through June?
That is not specific. The Earth moves like a huge amount during that time.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell that is.
It's just one part of the puzzle.
Part of me thinks, because I think I've seen stuff that, this final episode was airing in June, so they were trying to make it seem like it was current, even though obviously in the series it's not June yet. They're just trying to make it seem relevant to the audience, while still covering their back time-wise.
Yes.
Harry's still not following the logic.
I think he just gave up.
Yeah.
Are you even
I can't follow you anymore.
Yeah.
Are you even surprised, though?
No. They figure out the whole plan with Miss Twin Peaks. Andy has something important to say, and he breaks the plant. And they finally find the mic.
It's about time.
Oh, God.
Why did they even bother? It's not necessary. It's so late in the game, it doesn't matter if they find that microphone or not. That was unnecessary.
Yeah.
I guess it's
also
just
poorly staged.
Poorly staged?
Yeah, just like the way that he physically bumped into the thing. He may as well have just stood next to it and knocked it over straight up.
Yeah.
Pimp slapped it off the table.
But I think they revealed this just to add a sense of urgency. Hey, Wyndham Earle's right on our tail, or actually ahead of us.
But that's just it. They've got the urgency of the Miss Twin Peaks contest.
Yeah, it's already there.
Mm-hmm. If they had just left this bug, I know they didn't, but if they got a season 3, someone else could eventually stumble across that cabin in the woods and find a bug to the police station and use it, which would be awesome. There was no need to wrap that up.
Yeah.
Plus, it's so annoying that they won't listen to Andy.
Oh, I know.
Oh God! If there's ever an episode to want to pummel Andy to death with a plastic spoon, this would definitely be the one.
Are you annoyed by him?
Well, just in Agent Cooper, I have something to tell you. And then
that makes me want to pummel Coop with a spoon.
Yeah,
not Andy.
Well, good point, but just clearly this was important, and yet if it's really important, you will you will just punch everything in your way to get that information across. It took him 60 minutes to deliver 6 seconds of information. And I was just I'm surprised that at the fade out that somebody wasn't getting pistol whipped to death.
I still blame Cooper.
Now we get to see the lovely costumes that the Miss Twin Peaks pageant participants are wearing.
Yes, a Vegas show on a $62 budget.
Yeah, they went to the dollar store.
Dollar store? Dick doesn't do dollar stores.
No, they went to Horn's clothing department.
Though I had forgotten that bubble umbrellas existed.
Shelley, what happened to your hair?
I know. It's right teased and crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad.
No?
No.
I think Donna's hair's worse.
Yeah. But Shelley's hair keeps changing, though, during the scene. At the first of it, it's really teased. And then at the end, it's, completely straightened. I don't know why.
It looks like Heather Graham did her hair.
Yeah.
They have the same crazy mane.
Yeah.
Probably.
Pinkle is off in the corner molesting the log lady. He's dry humping her arm.
Pretty much.
Oh, that was his other. Okay, I remember now.
Yeah.
Somehow I forgot that.
The look on her face at one point is a look of sheer terror.
Yeah. Well, after that shot, you get a shot of the Doc Hayward as the host. He says a few things, then you go back to Pinkle and the log lady. Brad, do you have the episode up right now?
Yeah.
Did you find the second shot where it shows the two of them? Go to the very end of that shot and look at the log lady's face.
It's a look of sheer terror.
She looks like she really looks like she's being raped. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
that's just the most mortified face I've ever seen.
Not again.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not
Maybe
when my
that's why she
log's
carries-
watching.
Maybe that's why she carries the log around.
Yeah, it's for self-defense, yeah.
Yeah.
We get to see Lucy's dance.
That was pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, she's so talented.
she can do the splits.
That was impressive.
That's pretty badass.
I give it a 6.
Bobby sees two log ladies.
First
That was
of all,
great.
Bobby's a huge pervert. He's like drooling over all these ladies. I guess I don't blame him, but
No, he's just cheering on Shelley from the sidelines.
no, he was totally like, "Hey, ladies," when they passed him by.
I want to know how the real log lady disappeared.
She's made of magic.
So, what did you guys think of this costume?
I thought this was pretty awesome because I didn't catch it at first.
Oh,
Yeah,
it fooled
same. I would.
you got you, Caitlin?
Yeah, I think it's his best costume. I like it the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the concept of someone thinking that they could get by as dressing as the log lady.
Because everyone just kind of ignores her because she's so weird anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Is
And then
it-
having a log to use as a weapon is awesome.
Yeah. So is this the only costume he's ever done right?
I think so.
Really?
Stand by the
Sa-
horse.
I like the horse too.
thought the Sasquatch one was alright.
Yeah, the unseen one.
The
Yeah.
Sasquatch with beer.
Alright.
I got beer.
Well, yeah, we all know that Sasquatch used to be in a frat, so...
Yes. Yeah. So, crack, Bobby goes down. That looked very painful.
Mm-hmm.
I like how his log is like a piece of lumber
Yeah.
instead of an actual log.
It's hard to get just an actual log.
No, they're hard to come by.
Yeah,
Especially in a logging
especially...
town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Harry and Coop come in. They plan to guard the winner.
And there's gonna be all these cops all over the place, apparently.
Yes.
Eventually.
Nothing bad.
Soon.
Yeah. Like 6 hours. It's a short ride.
What'd you think of Lana's dance?
Her dance skills aren't as good as Lucy's. Like, she's just going for the sultry, exotic dance, but no skill there.
Yeah.
They called it contortionistic jazz exotica, but I did not see any contortionism.
I know. What? Oh my god. What the hell?
But everybody's enamored anyways. They all love her.
Hawk is mesmerized.
The mayor's winking at her.
I was waiting, of all the shots of the judges, waiting for them to pan to Norma, and finally they did, and I'm like, yeah, thank you, Norma.
Yes. Thank you for being disgusted for me.
Although it would have been amusing if she was like, yeah. Like, just like with every other guy in the room.
Audrey makes her speech about the forest. We already talked about that.
What'd you guys
Don't
think
know
about
why.
what?
Don't know why she made a speech. She's not in the pageant, clearly.
What'd you guys think of her speech though?
Yeah. It was standard.
It's better than Annie's.
Yeah, definitely.
Now we get Donna confronting Ben.
Yes. And again, the horrible action is like, oh, you're my father.
You're my father? Ew.
Yeah.
That's basically what I got from that.
We see where Laura Flynn Boyle, I think, falters. It's like she acts like she's just finding out this information and is scared by it and is shocked by it.
But she already knew.
Right. It's like
She's in-
Well, this is her confirmation, I guess.
She's
it
in
would
denial.
be. It would be. I just think it's a bad acting choice that she's decided to be surprised by this information.
She's probably just in denial. I mean, who would want Ben Horn to be their father?
Yeah.
I would. He's got a swank hotel.
I think this whole time though, I think she was just trying to prove it wrong. But nobody around her really wanted to say anything,
I think
and it was kind of hard for her to prove it wrong. But then
I think
Lara Flynn Boyle.
Lara Flynn Boyle was just mortified that she had to be Sherilyn Fenn's sister.
Probably.
I hate her.
Yeah.
So she channeled that. Ben wants to do the right thing, but still he won't tell the secret either.
Well,
Whatever the
he
secret
starts
is.
to say, and then she kind of cuts him off.
Yeah. See, she
What
cuts
was
him
he gonna-
off.
What was he
Yeah.
gonna say though? Your mother and I
Exactly.
had sex one time.
No,
Like, what was he gonna say?
I think if he was her father, they would have done it right there. But they specifically made her cut him off before he could say anything.
I hope. I hope.
I agree.
I hope against hope.
It feels like there's supposed to be something else going on here.
There better be. Otherwise, I feel like they've wasted way too much time.
So Annie gives her speech.
Ugh.
I like the feeling behind it. Like, she's got good intentions and stuff, but the way she delivers the speech is completely lackluster. But that's just her, I think. I don't think her speech deserved to win, though.
It made Dick cry.
Inexplicably.
I mean, yeah, the sentiment is good, but...
Yeah.
So then we get Wyndham Earl skulking around in the rafters, and then Lucy decides on Andy as the father of her child.
Well, that baby's gonna die in a bathtub.
That's terrible.
Yeah, probably not far from the truth. It's like you have a guy who's egocentric and then a guy who's dumber than mud.
No, I think Andy will be an excellent father.
I think so too.
Yeah.
As long as you have a good heart, I think you can, I think he'll be fine.
And he's not stupid, he's just slow.
Yeah.
He's not selfish, so you've got that at least. He's gonna put the kid first.
That's right.
I do love how, like, forced this is, and, like, everybody's, like, in a rush to do other things, and Lucy's kind of forcing the situation.
I still kind of wish this would have been solved on Donahue instead.
Yes.
But I guess you can't have everything.
So, yeah, Andy's a stand-up guy, but he has to go. And, Annie wins!
Boo!
Dale is reluctant to clap for her, too.
Yeah.
Really?
I love the look on his face. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, not even like she won. Oh, she won. Just oh shit.
I still think Norma rigged it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she won. She got a she swayed the mayor and Dick into voting for her.
The mayor didn't vote for her.
He didn't.
No. He's outraged.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It probably didn't matter what the mayor voted for. He could have put anything past him.
I think Dick is swayed by whatever lady is the closest to him at the moment.
It's proximity based.
Yeah, proximity based.
Yeah, and wasn't Annie like kind of like front center of the rest of the lineup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All wearing black.
I think Lana may have split the vote.
Yeah, maybe.
Because if they did all the scoring, because the mayor obviously was going to put Lana up high, so that maybe that split the vote and kept whoever should have been won from winning.
Oh, you mean somebody else voted for
a third party.
I don't know.
Like Shelley.
Well, we didn't see any of Shelley's act, though.
Of course, because then then there's no way we could have possibly believed Annie would have won.
Yeah.
Dick liked her speech and he voted based on that, so good for him, I guess.
Anyways, I like the look that Lana gives the mayor. She's like, "Oh, you're in trouble now."
I'm gonna kill you just like your brother.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And the lights go out and we get some distracting strobe lights and smoke. Pandemonium.
Yeah, the worst emergency lighting system in the history of the world.
I don't think it's emergency lighting. I think it's like a strobe light, they use for maybe dance parties or something.
Well, yeah, I know, but just like the fact that the power would go and that's the first thing that clicks on.
I assumed Wyndham Earl had set that up on purpose just to cause pandemonium.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but it would seem more like kind of like time is of the essence. So just hit the fuse box and then run. Like maybe the smoke. Like he's got like a couple because there's an explosion later on.
He did.
Yeah.
So,
if he planned that, there's no reason he couldn't have planned to set up a strobe light too.
Right, and he wouldn't need to have set up smoke if there weren't going to be strobe lights, because otherwise he could have just snatched her in the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
This just causes panic and puts everyone on edge.
Yep.
Yeah. He did a pretty good job of causing a ruckus there, but I don't know if it's believable that guy, one man, could kidnap a lady under all cops' nose.
If there's tons of cops surrounding the place outside, you would assume.
Yeah. Well, maybe
I don't see how.
I think maybe they all ran inside when they heard the commotion. Maybe, I don't know. That's the only thing I can see.
Yeah. Or they hadn't yet arrived because you said that they were on the way. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they were there yet. Do you think that taking out Nadine was part of the plan?
No.
That was just a bonus.
Gee, I wonder what's going to happen there.
Yeah, who knows? Seems like she got hit on the head pretty hard.
Yeah. I'm sure nothing will come of that. I love Wyndham Earl's his face of pure glee.
Yeah.
I know. It's terrifying. He reminds me of the Joker in this flashing strobe lights there.
I think this is the first episode where he is truly terrifying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's probably right. It's the only one where he's an effective villain, I think.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he has like 3 tiers of villainy. Like first he shows up again, pirate in a suit, and then his fear soliloquy is like part Bond villain and part Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you said, like the Joker aspect, when he's serpenting through the dance floor in a fabulous blue dress, I'll say.
Fabulous.
Yes, fabulous.
I stand by if we'd never seen him except in his disguises. If maybe we'd cut to him when they found the bug, and then we'd actually seen him in the cabin with Leo, it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
So Andy finally gets the chance to tell them about the petroglyph, and it's a map, which...
Oh, you skipped an entire part there.
What?
Where there's an explosion and then...
We kind of talked about it.
Well, we didn't talk about him taking Annie and stuff.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
I said I found it amazing that anybody could kidnap somebody with all the cops around.
Okay.
But if you have something to say, though, go ahead.
I don't really have anything to say. I guess I just want to know what you guys think is going to happen.
Yeah, let's get some predictions for the final episode. You're not allowed to predict.
Oh, all right. Well,
you already know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I was just going to make a really horrible joke about Wyndham Earle opening up a bed and breakfast with Annie.
Oh, you spoiled it.
Seemed logical.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to end up at wherever this magic spot is. I guess where Bob probably popped out. And
Defo in the woods, yeah.
Yeah, and and Annie's going to be there, and they're going to use their Care Bear powers to open up the White Lodge instead of the Black Lodge.
Okay. What will they do?
Care Bear countdown.
Don't be afraid. Just love.
Care a lot. We care a lot.
What will they do with the White Lodge? If you use the Black Lodge, you can harness unimaginable power. So, what's the White Lodge do for you?
Peace and love and joy.
Yeah.
Just makes everyone sing Kumbaya.
Very fine coffee. It's just lots of pie and coffee.
They will restore balance to Twin Peaks.
Okay. So you think that in the final episode they're going to wipe out the evil in the woods?
It's probably like the beginning of a big battle. And before it was like evil was sneaking out and causing pandemonium, but now the good forces will come out to fight them, and it's like a huge war.
Okay.
Maybe all the wood spirits will come out.
I'm thinking Narnia now. This is like...
You guessed it, Caitlin. This is a prequel to Narnia.
They'll find a wardrobe the very last episode.
Last shot is of a wardrobe.
Yeah.
Damn it, I was
I'm fully
bamboozled.
expecting to see the giant, and maybe, a few of the other, like, mystical things we've seen before.
Okay.
We better get lots of Bob. Damn it.
Dang, god damn it.
I hope if we see the White Lodge, I hope there's an opposite of Bob, like a White Lodge version of
Like
Bob.
a Bizarro Bob?
Yes, Bizarro Bob.
Bizarro Bob.
With his nice clean hair.
Short, clean hair.
What do you wear?
And a
What's
suit.
what's the opposite of denim?
A three-button suit, I guess.
Satin?
Spandex. I like spandex. Awesome.
No, it would have to be like a blue velvet one piece.
Yeah.
Velour.
The lower tracksuit.
Nice.
That's right. The Bizarro Bob is from Jersey.
I kind of want to see a tracksuit with a gold chain.
And he's gonna be a big muscly man instead of an old small frail guy.
So Bizarro Bob is Suge Knight.
Sure.
So what's happening?
Sure.
I really do want to see him in spandex, though.
Well, I do. There is one little bit of information about the next episode, and it's not spoiling anything. And a little bit of trivia, but there's a song by Mushroomhead that samples a scream that happens in that episode.
Yeah.
That actually you guys use in your opening.
Yeah, there's a few songs that sample that.
Anyways.
Yeah, but it's very funny to me because I'm a fan of Mushroomhead, and ironically, this song is called Episode 29.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's the second guest that's been a fan of Mushroomhead, actually.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of David Lynch references. Like one of the singers, Jeffrey Nothing, is like his name takes from a character in Blue Velvet, I believe.
His name is seriously Jeffrey Nothing?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, that's his stage name. His real name, I think, is like Jeffrey Hatrix or Hatrix. I'm probably going to get some shit from that, but
Whatever.
yeah.
How many Mushroomhead fans are out there?
Quite a lot.
Ouch.
Never heard of the
Burn.
band before I started this.
To educate yourself
well.
in this band.
Yeah, I guess.
So, anything else about this episode?
It really feels like it's part 1.
Yeah. Apparently, this and the final episode were played back to black. They were played back to back. You guys want to rate the episode? Does everyone prepare ratings this time?
I did.
Well, next time. Promise.
No, keep it going. Keep the tradition alive. No ratings until the very last possible second.
Did you do one, Eddie?
I'll
I'll go first if everyone.
All right.
I'll give this one 8.5 spider helmets out of 10. Yeah, it was good, but not great. Much better than, middle of this season, but I don't know. I wasn't too thrilled by most of the pageant itself, but there's still some good stuff.
Yeah, I also wrote down that like the announcer at the pageant said, "I hope you had a good weekend." I think he left out because it's about to be ruined.
Who else got some?
I can go. I think I would have to give this 6.5
Oof.
out of 10 reindeer games, as it were.
Oh.
Wow.
What's with the low rating?
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Really?
It's a lot of setup, and I think that's the problem. And it's hard enough to rate these things individually anyway.
Yeah.
But I was really annoyed by all the Cooper and Harry supposedly figuring things out. That was bad and forced and rushed. The Annie and Cooper scene was terrible. The pageant wasn't very interesting until the end. Donna was horrible. There wasn't much good. Except the fact that it's ramping up.
Yeah, I actually gave it 7.5 originally, but then Mel glared at me, so I put it up to 8.5.
You could have kept. I was gonna give it a 10, but this is just because I'm biased.
Yeah. I know it's leading to something awesome, and it's a lot of setup, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I know.
I just felt it could have been handled better, and that's my complaint.
Okay. How'd you feel, Caitlin?
I'm gonna give it a 7.5 deranged Barbie speeches out of 10. And I was watching it near the end, and I'm like, oh, the episode's almost over. Nothing's really happened. It's just a lot of setup. I feel the same way, but Brad does. It's not too bad of an episode. I like the Wyndham Earl in this episode. He gets pretty scary, but I'm expecting marvelous things to happen next episode and to have my mind blown. So.
All right.
I'll have to go with Brad and say 6.5 turtles and a half shell.
What's that a reference to?
Ninja Turtles.
I know, but in the episode.
Oh, it wasn't. It was. I just pulled it. From,
Okay.
The Andy bit, the fact that it took him until the very last minute to say that it was a map, it kind of irked me a little bit. Along with kind of stretching out, with Harry and Agent Cooper, just hey, I discovered this. No, you fucking didn't.
All right, your turn, Mel. Still giving it a 10?
No, I pulled it down to 9. But now I almost want to give it an 8.5. You guys are all depressing me, but
you're allowed to like it as much as you like it.
I like it. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Meditative puzzle-solving experiments. I like the setup of this episode. I think Wyndham Earl is at his most effective.
Yeah, that's one thing I really liked about this episode is the ending.
Yeah, the ending is the best. I think the beginning of this episode and the ending is the best part. The middle is okay. Mm-hmm. Like you guys said, it's a lot of setup.
Yep.
I don't know. I think it's necessary.
Yep. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. You guys have some quotes? I want to do this one from the mayor, mirroring most of our sentiments.
Nice.
This is an outrage. She's been to this town about 15 minutes.
We are new warriors, mystic warriors, mystic warriors who love the earth and try to save it. What?
I felt like she was in what's that James Cameron movie there?
Avatar.
Avatar.
Yeah.
See, I thought she was in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 myself. She's a dream warrior.
Same difference.
I can't believe a little crumb like that can stand up to this cramjack all-duty vice.
I love that quote. Thank you for saying that. Alright, I've got one. read us your speech. I'd rather talk about the truth right now.
Well.
Who was that?
Donna.
Wonderful. Lying bitch.
You got one, Ed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, by George, I think you've caught it.
Can I say a Wyndham Earl quote?
Okay.
It's fear, Leo. That's the key. My favorite emotional state.
That was a good one. I also like when he was like, I haven't felt like this since I punctured Carolyn's aorta.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was very, very specific. But then again, when you're that deranged, of course you're going to remember who you stabbed and where you stabbed them.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the concentrate they make concentrate from. Horrible.
Okay, very quickly, let's check the Facebook group. Oh, Claire's been posting up some Twin Peaks UK festival pictures.
Jealous.
There's a big discussion going on about the music in this series and whether or not it's dated. So, if you guys have an opinion on whether the Angelo Badalamenti's music is dated or if it's perfectly fine and you don't notice
the 90s synth.
The 90s synth in there.
I stand by. It works great with the show.
It does.
But the first time, if you've never seen the show before, looking back on it, it's startling and jarring.
Yes.
Yeah. But that doesn't.
But it's fun. Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's bad.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I like it. I love the music.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can see how it's a product of its time. Even though it is heavily inspired, some of it by 50s and 60s music, but that's enough for the Facebook. We're kind of running along a little bit. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of feedback.
Hey, enough for everybody.
Enough for everyone if everyone wants to read.
Yes.
Do you mind reading, Eddie?
No.
You don't have to. People have declined before.
No, I'll go ahead and read.
Okay.
Morgan Freeman's here if anything happens.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so I put the call out for some feedback, and you guys definitely answered it. So thanks a lot, everyone. We got 5 pieces of feedback today, and Mel's going to read the first one.
All right, this is from Brad Baudet. Hey, gang. No feedback yet? Say it ain't so. I'll give it a try. Clearly, the most painful things about the last few episodes continue here. 1. If wearing one's heart on one sleeve isn't enough for you, Audrey wears her heart on her entire dress in an excruciating talk with Ben about JJW. Remember early on in the second season when Donna is at Laura's grave and she says she feels like they can't bury Laura deep enough? That's what I'm feeling here. JJW could fly his sex jet into the dark side of the moon and it still wouldn't be far enough away. 2. Meanwhile, isn't it great to see Coop talking to Diane again? Oh wait! It's simply a device to sell to the audience the virtues of Annie Blackburn. And then we get to see Coop take Annie's virtue away. Yuck. 3. If Mrs. Hayward wasn't in a wheelchair, she would have no excuse not to kick Donna's ass. Christ! Why couldn't Donna have been a roadie? I don't think anything else in this episode qualifies as a sin, quote-unquote. But there's a lot to poke lighthearted fun at. As the series comes near to a close, and Jupiter and Saturn meet, quite a few characters are reforming themselves. Ben has been the most obvious, and while Mike isn't making a show of it, he seems to be pulling it off more successfully than Bobby is. In this episode, we start with Leo making a clear turn to the light. Do we buy it? If Wyndham had been portrayed as consistently menacing rather than campy, maybe I could see Leo learning something through his recent experiences, but with things having been played out the way they have, probably not. Oh, someone should tell Wyndham that clowns are scary, but mimes are not, even when they're sneering. I don't know, I thought this one was pretty scary. In reference to the Laura Palmer Day of Healing comment, Shelley says, I think we need more than a day. Now, who was it that mocked the events of Laura's funeral with the customers of the Double R exactly? The guy carrying the deer equals classic. We have back-to-back scenes with the current best couples in town. First we get Nadine and Mike gets to share with us the scream he makes whenever Nadine does that thing that Mike whispered in Bobby's ear a couple of episodes ago. And then we have Pete and Andrew, who are just so cute together. Aw, look at the gray-haired bromance. It is cute. What the deuce? Has Harry gotten even dumber this episode? Did you notice that during the chaos at the end of the episode that instead of looking for Earl or Miss Twin Peaks, he looks for Coop? Harry Truman should be president on a $3 bill. Ooh.
Ouch.
It's pretty funny that Earl doesn't get the log right, but it's sad that Bobby doesn't know the difference either. I think it's emblematic of the likelihood that no one in the town takes Margaret seriously, except for the law enforcement. That thought kind of bums me out.
Aw, poor log lady.
Yeah. The Twin Peaks pageant itself is no more than a guilty pleasure, but it starts with all the contestants wrapped in plastic. How freakish is that? How did Audrey get to register the same day? What other world would deem any of these judges to be impartial? The mind reels for an answer. Anywho, the episode is a bit of a mess, but largely a fun mess, and it certainly gets one psyched for the next episode. I'll give it a 7 plastic-wrapped beauties out of 10. Take care. Brad Baudet, pronounced Baudet, the other Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Great email. I got one from Tammy.
Hi, people of Twin Peaks. Sorry my email is a little all over the place. I just typed along as I watched the episode, so initial thoughts and all. Leo spoke an actual phrase. Good on you, Leo. Was Wyndham's latest costume death? He looks horrendous. Wow, Laura Palmer is actually mentioned again. Oh, that conversation between Ben and Audrey was so wrong. If you thought they were talking about her having sex with JJ, how much will it hurt next week? But what you had was highly concentrated. Wowza, Dad. How did you know what Jack was like? Time heals all wounds. I know what it feels like. Believe me, I know. Dale, Harry was fine after you both hugged it out. You couldn't have mentioned Bob sooner? If Dale Cooper gets taken down by a bonsai tree, I'm going to be pissed. So Wyndham has this elaborate scheme to kill Leo with tarantulas? I really thought it would be a bit more nefarious than spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Loved the ridiculous dance. What makes the insurance agent qualified as a choreographer?
Who knows?
Why does Dale tell Diane about Annie? What does that have to do with the case? Do you think Diane rolls her eyes every time she hears Dale talk about Annie like I do?
Yes, she does.
How many tops is Annie wearing? A sweater, a blouse, an undershirt, and a bra? What a tease. How can anybody take Dr. Jacoby seriously? Of course, we are talking about a middle-aged woman who thinks she's a teenager, so I guess it's okay. Hawk to the rescue! Of course he would be the one to find Briggs. No one else would actually be working. The whole scheme was figured out in less than 2 minutes. It took 5 episodes to get here, and like magic, or Bugs Bunny logic, it was found out in less than 2 minutes, including finding the bug. Please. Wyndham's best costume yet. I wonder what the log lady thinks about it. I think she'd probably be offended.
Yeah, probably.
Giving it up for Lucy. The last thing I wanted to do when pregnant was jumping up and down when doing the splits. No! Bad belly dancing! I can't handle it! Ah! Thank goodness it was quick. I could not take much more.
Yeah.
People who don't know, Tammy is a belly dancer, and she has a podcast about belly dancing called the Yip Podcast, spelled Y-I-P.
I love that look that you made when you said Y-I-P.
Why do you pee? Anyway.
Poor Tammy.
Anyway, let's continue with the email.
Okay. I love the back of Audrey's dress, and Donna looks ridiculous. What did you think the secret was, Donna? You had already figured it out, and now you're acting shocked?
Yeah.
Annie's dress looks ridiculous. I think I had that dress when I was about 12 years old. Yay, Andy gets to pay for a kid who may not be his.
Oh, it's okay, he's happy.
Anyone? Seriously? I mean, I know for the storyline and all, but I agree with the mayor. She just got into town. Mm-hmm. So if they knew that the Queen would be Wyndham's next victim, why didn't they just delay the announcing of the winner so they could look for Wyndham hiding somewhere in the building?
That'd be too smart.
If anything, this episode gets me all geared up for the series finale. I will give this episode a 7.5 out of 10 awkward talks with Daddy.
Nice.
Thanks, Tammy. I like those
point form
emails that are written by somebody who's watching it for the first time. That
it's very much like a Mystery Science Theater transcript.
Yeah.
Are you gonna take this one, Eddie?
All right.
Let's see who it's from. It's from Matthias.
All right. Somewhere out there is a book with essays about Twin Peaks from a feminist point of view. Pretty interesting, actually. The thing that really bugs me about Miss Twin Peaks' story is that all the girls help from men.
Get help.
When they are preparing for the contest. However, Coop wrote Annie's speech. He wrote speak, but yeah. or not never found out what the hell?
Hold on.
I'm gonna read it straight from now on. The lack of grammar is fucking with me.
Wait, hold on, let me get in here. However, Cooper wrote Annie's speak or not, we never find out, since they all of a sudden decide the show a love-making coop. Disgusting.
Thank you, Morgan Freeman.
That was the best.
That's good.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. There is one thing that I think you forgot to mention about 15 episodes ago. If you put all the spirits aside, Twin Peaks is... What?
Twin Peaks is, as you mentioned.
As you mentioned, a story of incest and molestation. I haven't watched Oprah and Ricky Lake in years, but in those kind of shows, and in more serious forms, it is used to be a pretty accepted theory that a child who is molested becomes a perpetrator him/herself when he or she grows up. In a way, Twin Peaks supports this sad theory and offers death as the only solution to the molested child. Leland says they wanted Laura and she resisted. Well, this is something you can discuss further after a fire walk with me. But do you have any thoughts about it at this point? All the Lara Flynn Boyle hate has made me look at some things in a different way. Really strange how they never show any close-up of the main characters during the dance rehearsals. I'm doing Australia now.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Donna was smoking right in the corner at one point. Was this Donna bored with all the dancing, or was it Boyle not knowing she was in frame? Bye for now.
Now you're Jamaican.
I did 5 different dialects in that.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm not schizophrenic.
Alright, thanks, Matthias. We're gonna do one from Steve now. From Steve Wittig, I believe. One thing that immediately bothers me about this episode in the beginning is how Audrey is sad that J.J. Wheeler is gone, even though it's only been a day. That day, Audrey, amounts to like 25% of the time you've actually known him. It's like this scene only exists to justify the Audrey-J.J. Wheeler relationship, since the show itself couldn't make it convincing. Oh, but the time you spent together was highly concentrated. No, it wasn't, Ben. Stop being terrible. Really, stop it. Stop encouraging this terrible subplot. It's not making it any better that you have your face awkwardly close to your daughter's face in front of the fireplace like that. Ugh, this scene is just really creepy now. Also, Annie is a cheater by asking Coop for help on her speech. She should be disqualified for this despicable behavior. Honestly, her talk about being damaged would have made much more sense coming from Audrey. Oh well, I'll stop talking about my intense dislike of Annie before I want to explode in anger. Thankfully, the rest of the episode is very solid. I like the info we get about Bob, though I'm sort of confused about what Truman thought the darkness in the woods was before now. Yeah, me too. I actually kind of feel bad for Leo now, and would like to think he finally understands what he's been putting Shelley through for so long. When Cooper and Harry were figuring out the nature of the lodges, it sort of reminded me of the Adam West Batman series. In fact, Wyndham Earl wouldn't seem out of place there, come to think of it. Plot twist, Ben is Donna's father. I wonder if that was a result of the writers trying to spite Lara Flynn Boyle by making her character related to Sherilyn Fenn's. Or maybe not, but oh well. I lied earlier. I'll talk about Annie again. She does not deserve to win Miss Twin Peaks. She's been living in the town for only like 15 minutes. She cheated on her speech, and the speech kind of sucked anyways. Oh well, she got what she deserved when she was kidnapped. This episode ends on a mysterious note, as Andy informs us that it's not a lake, but instead an ocean. Oh wait, wrong series.
I like that.
Alan Wake comment. I give this episode a solid 8.5 cross-dressing kidnappers out of 10. I find it very enjoyable, despite my problems with it, and a good lead into the series finale. Also, is it just me, or do Wyndham Earl's teeth look particularly yellow in this episode?
No, they look black.
Well,
Yeah.
whatever it was,
They started out black.
it was deliberate. The actor is not a bad brusher, don't worry.
Well.
We're not Evelyn Marsh territory.
Yeah. Alright, and here's our final email. Just got under the wire, I'm sure, because she just got back from the UK fest.
Hello, lovelies. Wow, only one episode after this. But Tim Hunter directed this episode. Yay!
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
So remember last week when I said that Wyndham Earle's creepiest moment was still to come? Well, that moment in which Wyndham is standing over Leo with the white face and the black grin and spider sack really creeps me out, even when I watch it now. I have no idea why, but it's really unsettling to me. The trap that he sets for Leo is a little bit rubbish, though. Wouldn't Leo be able to let go of the string a little at a time and lower the cage without having to drop and break open? Even if it did break open, tarantula venom is not fatal.
Certain tarantula venom is, but...
Yeah. Or couldn't he just, grab the string and hold it in place?
Yeah, it wasn't about breaking it open because it had no bottom, so it was kind of like a helmet that was going to fall on his head. So, yeah.
I couldn't see the name of the soup of the day in the diner this time. Cream something.
Ooh, that could be something.
Cream
gross.
of spider.
Oh.
Yum.
This close to the end of the series, all the Miss Twin Peaks setup shenanigans feel a little unnecessary. However, we do get Dick Tremaine coming over all Professor Henry Higgins at the end of that storage room scene with Lana, so I'm happy. I don't like the phrase Dick Tremaine coming over.
she's from England.
Yeah. I like that Audrey at least protests against entering the Miss Twin Peaks contest. It's just something that she would never do, and it's one of the things that grates with this episode. Coop, there is no such thing as a completely original human being. As soon as he compares her to Caroline, you know something bad is going to happen to Annie. He should have listened to the giant. Speaking of which, I bet Brad was going, no, too, when Annie was announced the winner. I was. The Catherine and Andrew Magic Eckhart box plot always felt like it went on forever to me when watching the series. And then when they finally open it in this episode, it just leads to another mystery. Grr. I find it hilarious. And I hope it goes on forever. Hee hee, I love Mr. Pinkle trying to get his log on with the log lady.
Oh.
You tell him, Margaret. Claire, stop writing sexual innuendos. Wyndham Earle creeping around dressed as the log lady is the worst. The worst.
I love
You're
it.
wrong. It's the best. It's almost as good as the horse. Hee hee, Dick practically skips away going wee when Lucy picks Andy. True. It's a lucky man. Yesterday at the Twin Peaks Festival, someone asked Kimmy Robertson who she preferred out of the Andy Dick, and she replied Andy. Everyone cheered, and there was one solitary little boo in the audience. You can guess who it came from.
Oh, Lord. Claire.
Awesome.
Oh,
I love it. Anyway, I would say that this is a solid episode, but it's not as good as the two that bookend it. Therefore, I awarded 8 pointy-headed Dale Coopers out of 10. Until next week, Claire runs off with Dick Tremaine.
Thank you, Claire.
he's yours now.
Dick Tremaine can't be saddled with a child.
No.
No.
He's got to be free.
I don't think he could be saddled with a woman either, Claire, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
No.
It's true.
He's got to be free on every aspect.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks for the feedback, everyone. You all came through for us.
Yes.
And make sure to get feedback in for next time.
For next episode, for sure.
Yep. So thanks for coming on with us, Eddie.
Yes.
Yep. Thanks for having me. Sorry if I ruined it.
No, you
Did
didn't
not.
ruin it. You were fine. You're like,
I don't know. I'm still dreading over the letter and the fact that was largely just because there was a lot of grammatical issues with it.
yeah.
That's fine. I get this. This happens to us every week. Matt and myself always hate ourselves after every episode, so don't worry.
And then we cut ourselves for 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Basically,
Yes.
God, we were horrible.
Well, I think living near Boston, I'll compensate for it by drinking heavily, and then
We do.
yelling obscenities at people on the street.
Okay.
That sounds like a good solution. Yeah, I like it.
That sounds like a Tuesday.
Yep.
But it's
That's what I
Sunday.
do- That's what I do during the podcast.
Oh, all right. Multitasking. Wow.
You hate yourself during the podcast, Brad.
I hate myself always.
I'm gonna
Sad
join
inside.
I'm gonna go join a convent. Do you have anything to plug, Eddie? I don't know if you have any internet presence somewhere.
I'm slowly trying to build one. But I'm on Twitter. Follow me at Sketchball. I'll often share whimsical nothings about scripts that I'm writing, and will occasionally make a very inappropriate dick joke. As opposed to the appropriate ones.
Okay.
Hopefully you'll see something with my name on it in the cinema one day.
Cool.
Yeah. That's really all I got. And I have a Tumblr too. If anybody wants to check that out, I have two. Ha! dreamerofnothing.tumblr.com, where basically I write about dreams that I've had, which are often entertaining and generally very, very strange.
I wish I had more dreams. I love dreams.
Yeah.
I barely ever dream.
Dreams are fun, but they can also be really annoying. Dreaming every night, not fun.
You dream every night, Caitlin?
Every night.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the worst thing for my system is that immediately after I wake up, I'm trying desperately to remember what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And like the worst thing is like it was like, oh, I had an amazing dream. I can't remember what happened.
Yeah.
Like that drives me bonkers.
Yeah. All right, Brad, do you want to plug your podcast?
Sure. You guys can catch me on the Ramjack podcast, where we have fun and shenanigans and are currently talking about Mr. Belvedere and Saved by the Bell and their sweaters, which they wear a lot of.
All right, and you can catch me and Mel in the Carney Cast with Claire, show about Carnival.
And I guested recently.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, Caitlin.
This recent episode.
That was fun, and you did speed reading.
Yeah.
Which was pretty...
Which was hilarious.
Yeah.
No, speed reading is fun. You should try sometime.
Yes. Maybe I shall.
Take some practice. You know, I was a little rusty myself, so I wasn't the best, but...
Did you take a class on speed reading or something, or you just did that on...
No, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Anyone got the name of the next episode?
Matt,
Laughs.
you should
I'll
look it up.
Look it up. Nobody look it up. You might spoil yourselves on something.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm zero spoiled for this last episode.
I know.
That is.
I
so
got the
excited.
title in front of me.
Unless, like Netflix description ruins you or something. Or...
Well, don't look at it until after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not looking.
All right, so we'll see you guys all next time for episode 30, Beyond Life and Death, the final episode. We're here, guys.
Aw.
We're here.
No.
I'm sad.
Me too.
Hey, don't be sad. There's always the movie, and then after that, there's nothing.
Well, there's a few books.
There's a couple books, the movie.
Oh,
We can get some discussions going on about certain things, maybe season 3 or speculation or
All of Claire's fan fiction.
Claire's
Yes,
fanfiction.
we will review fan fiction. If you guys want to send some in, send it to Brad's email.
Please try not to scar me.
Yeah.
So see you guys all next time. Bye, everyone.
Au revoir. Bye.
boogity.
Boogity.
Boogity boogity.
Boogity, 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 amen. Thanks for listening. Check us out on twitter.com/TwinPeaksCast. Search for the Twin Peaks Podcast group on Facebook. And visit us on twinpeakspodcast.blogspot.com. Email your feedback to twinpeakspodcast@gmail.com.
Here's a tune for you guys. Okay. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.